It's a great time to be a UFC fan. We've got back-to-back-to-back spectacular fights coming up. I challenge you to find 3 better fight cards in a row. You can't do it. I'm going to break down my 10 most exciting fights between now and the end of the year. These are fights that are between unranked fighters, and I'm going to make you love these fights too. We're going to watch them along together. So buckle up and let's get going. Kicking off the list at number 10, I've got a light heavyweight fight on December 6th, UFC 323 between Ibo Baraniewski and Ibo Aslan. Iwo and Ibo. Iwo Baraniewski is fresh out of the Contender Series. He is a 26-year-old Polish fighter with a record of 6-0. He's on a 6-fight win streak and a 100% finish rate. Iwo ran through his opponent in 20 seconds on the Contender Series. So there hasn't been a lot that I could find on this fighter. You know you're in the weeds when you find yourself on an obscure Polish fight promotion and you're watching fights in Polish. But basically, all of the fights for Iwo end the same way. He finishes his opponents in the first or second round, and usually it's ground and pound, but I did see him finish with 2 arm bars. Ibo Aslan is 6'3". He's a 29-year-old Turkish fighter known as the Last Ottoman. He has a record of 14-3. Aslan is coming off of 2 losses, but he's got a finish rate of 100. There was a lot of hype around this fighter back when he started. He's not done so well since he started in the UFC. He's gone 2-2 in his last UFC fights, and he had a loss against Raffael Cerqueira, who also doesn't have the best record. Also, Raffael Cerqueira is going to be fighting AbdulRakhman Yakhyaev, someone from my prospect list coming up at the end of the year as well. I watched against Kopylov in an arm triangle. I think this fight is going to be on the feet. I don't think we're going to see takedowns from either fighter. They're both known for throwing powerful punches. Even though Ibo has more reach, I think he has a 3-inch reach advantage. I see this as a true test to see what both fighters are made of. I'm going to go with Iwo on this one. I think he's going to win by knockout. Either way, it's going to be fireworks. Coming in at number 9, I've got a fight. Let's see when it's taking place. November 15th at UFC 322, I've got Bo Nickal versus Rodolfo Viera. Bo Nickal is on a 7-1 record. He's on a 1-loss fight streak against Reinier de Ridder. Bo Nickal's come in with a lot of hype on both sides, positive and negative. He comes with an incredible wrestling pedigree, 3-time NCAA division champ at Penn State. He came into the UFC after 2 Dana White Contender Series fights. Both times he submitted his opponent. There was a lot of rumors about him being kind of Dana White privileged. And then the hype about him really grew, negative hype, because he was on video saying that Khamzat Chimaev's wrestling is trash. He said he would kill Robert Whittaker and DDP. And then he goes into his fight against Reinier de Ridder and is just crumpled by RDR, who isn't even a boxer. He had a knee to the body and it just emptied his gas tank and knocked him to the ground and got the knockout. I think that was in the 2nd round. I think it's fun to have anti-heroes, but at the same time, even the interviews since then, Bo's been humbled tremendously, but he's still been a little bit defensive, said he was just joking and all of those things. We'll see. I think he is going to have something to prove in this fight against Rodolfo. Rodolfo is coming in with an 11-3 record and a 91% finish rate. He's coming off a 1-fight win streak against Tresean Gore. Rodolfo has multiple championships in jiu-jitsu and grappling, and he recently went to work with the Fighting Nerds to work on his standing game, and you saw an improvement in his fight against Tresean Gore. It did go to decision. I believe it was a unanimous decision, but Rodolfo's looking really good. He is a little bit older, but he is explosive on the ground and very experienced. I think this is going to be a very good fight. It's been a little up and down for Rodolfo. He did win against Cody Brundage, but Cody also lost to Bo Nickal. I'm just going to give the edge here to Bo. I think he's going to walk out with the win. One thing that does have me curious, though, is that the UFC website has this fight listed on the main card. Tapology has it listed on the prelims, but that's surprising to me because that pushed down the BSD and Dariush fight to the prelim card. So I'm curious as to see where this fight will end up. Next up at number 8, I've got a middleweight fight between Gregory Rodriguez and Roman Kopylov. This is taking place November 15th at UFC 322. Gregory Robocop Rodriguez has a record of 17-6. He's on a 1-fight win streak, and his last 2 fights got him Performance of the Night and Fight of the Night. The Performance of the Night took place at UFC 317 against Jack Hermanson. He came in with a vicious left hook, slept Jack Hermanson, a little bit scary because he didn't get up right away. The Fight of the Night came from his fight against Jared Cannonier. It was an excellent fight. Robocop just totally gassed out, like he hit a wall and he had no more energy left. It was still a great fight. Robocop has excellent jiu-jitsu and slick grappling skills. He's got a powerful punch. I just love his aggressive style and the way he likes to fight at close range. And it seems like in his head, he's either I die or you die tonight. He just comes with that I'm gonna leave everything in the octagon type of mentality. Roman Kopylov is a southpaw. Let me give you his record. He's 34 years old, 14-4. He's coming off a recent loss to Paulo Costa. He's a busy southpaw with a power jab and a quick 1-2. His leg kicks are equally devastating. His body kicks, his calf kicks, they hit with a pow, thud, like super dangerous. He moves around a lot on his feet. He's a little wild, doesn't really plant for his punches. He's always moving. I like both fighters. I think they're fun to watch. I'm always down to watch a Robocop fight because of his aggressive style. I'm gonna give this fight to Robocop. I just think that he's more aggressive. I actually think that this fight is probably going to end with a punch. He's gonna knock him down and then he's gonna come in with some ground and pound. Number 7 on my list are middleweights, Christian Leroy Duncan and Marco Tulio. This fight will take place on November 8th in Vegas in a fight night. Christian Leroy Duncan, CLD for short, is 30 years old. He's got a record of 12-2. He's on a 2-fight win streak and has an 83% finish rate. CLD is a former Cage Warriors fighter. He started in the UFC back in 2023. His most recent fight was a win back just a couple of months ago in August. He had a low blow and an eye poke, but he came back with a spinning elbow, knocked Anders off a little, wobbled him, then he came in with punches, got the win, also got Performance of the Night. Marco Tulio is 31 years old. He's on a 14-1 record with a 10-fight win streak. Tulio got his UFC contract last year on Contender Series. So far in the UFC, he's won his last 2 fights. This fighter is a very dynamic Muay Thai kickboxer. He has extreme versatility and diversity, and he is deadly everywhere on his feet. He kind of reminds me of Jean Silva with his ability to have elbows, strike from all over the place. He mixes it up with combos to the body, to the head, with leg strikes. His fights are completely action-packed. I like this fight because both of these fighters have similar styles. They've got a lot of striking in their arsenal. I'm gonna give this one to Marco Tulio. He throws harder. I see him out-voluming and out-powering CLD. I see this fight ending in a knockout. I'm gonna say round 2. Next up at number 6, I've got bantamweights, Bekzat Almakhan and Aleksandre Topuria. This is a fight night on November 2nd. Bekzat Almakhan is 28 years old. He's got a 12-2 record and a record of 1-1 since entering the UFC. Don't let that record fool you. This kid is really good. He's a tough striker with a great right hand, whether it's a straight right, a hook, or an overhand right. He knocked Umar Nurmagomedov down. Wrestling is not his forte. He's excellent on the feet, but he's got wrestling defense, went all 3 rounds against Umar. Aleksandre Topuria is 29 years old. He's 6-1. He's on a 4-fight win streak, and he made his UFC debut against Colby Thickness with a win. If you would expect him to be good on the ground and on his feet, you would be correct. Aleksandre Topuria does represent the next generation with good grappling, good wrestling, good striking. He stands in a very bladed stance. Alexander's got good striking, grappling, and wrestling, but he's different than his brother because he's more strategic and more calculated in his approach. He has a very forward pressure style, cutting off the octagon so he can close the distance between his opponents. I like both of these fighters. Almakhan is known for his explosive shots, but I want to read some stats to you. His significant strikes landed per minute is 0.68 versus Topuria at 2.73. Topuria's strike accuracy is 59%. I naturally am going with Topuria on this one. If you looked at my Dark Horses video, it was one of my very first videos, and you see that I actually predict Aleksandre Topuria to be a dark horse for a champ. I do like him. I think that this is going to be a tough fight. However, if you know me, I'm always looking for the mispricing in Vegas lines, and because Bekzat will be the home fighter because this fight is taking place in Qatar, I think he has the edge in probabilities. So I'm not going to place a bet on this fight, but I do think Aleksandre's going to win. Fancy number 5 is a fight taking place on the same fight card as the last fight, Fight Night November 22nd. This is a fight between light heavyweights AbdulRakhman Yakhyaev and Raffael Cerqueira. AbdulRakhman Yakhyaev is 24 years old. He's a baby. 7-0 record and a 7-fight win streak. This will be Yakhyaev's debut in the UFC. He comes from season 9 of Dana White Contender Series, where he knocked down his opponent in the first round. I've talked about Yakhyaev. If you go watch my top prospect video, I think he was number 14 on my top prospects. He fights like a bull in a china shop, the way he just rolls through his opponents. He can strike. He's good on the ground. He will stand in your guard and beat you the heck up. He is fighting Raffael Cerqueira. He's a 35-year-old. He's got a record of 11-3, and he's on a 3-loss streak. Cerqueira's a Brazilian fighter. He was scheduled to fight on Dana White Contender Series 3 times, and all 3 fights were canceled. He was put on UFC 308 against Ibo Aslan, where he lost. He just hasn't had a good start in the UFC. Things aren't looking good for the Brazilian. He's coming up against a fighter in Yakhyaev who is 11 years younger, very aggressive, and I think that the momentum from his loss is just probably going to get in his head. I see Yakhyaev winning this. I think he's probably going to keep his record of finishes either in the first or second round. I think it's going to be a knockout. Next up at number 4, I've got a middleweight fight between Baisangur Susurkaev versus McConico. This fight takes place on November 15th, UFC 322. Baisangur Susurkaev is 24 years old, another baby. He's got a record of 10-0, and he's on a 10-fight win streak. Baisangur is fresh off the Contender Series Season 9. He won in the first round, probably 30 or 40 seconds in the first round. He had a front kick to the body. He was like a superhero villain, sending the opponent off to the other side. It was fantastic. 4 days later, Dana White gives him his debut in the UFC. He gets another finish in the second round with a rear naked choke. Explosive fighter. He is an outstanding grappler. He trains with Hamzat Chimaev. McConico is 35 years old. He's 10-3-1. He's on a 1-fight win streak. His UFC record is 1-1. He beat Cody Brundage. Cody doesn't have the best record. I had to go look at previous fights. I looked at his fights in a promotion called Tough Enough. I just don't have enough background on him to make a good call on this. His opponents were not very strong, and I do have fight tape of Susurkaev. I hate to dismiss McConico. I just haven't seen him fight against quality opponents to make a good decision here. I'm going to go with Susurkaev. I think he knocks him out within the first round and a half of the fight. Top 3 coming in for you. At number 3, I have Henry Cejudo and Payton Talbott. This is the fight that takes place on December 6th. It's UFC 323. Henry Cejudo is a 2-time title holder. He has a very storied and successful history as a fighter in the UFC, Olympic gold medalist. He's been in some wars. 3 most recent losses came from Aljo, Marab, and Yadong Song due to an eye poke, but he won the title against Mighty Mouse, and he defended the title against Dominic Cruz. Henry Cejudo is not only an excellent grappler, when he's at close range, he is vicious. Here's the thing though, he is at the end of his career. I believe he's 38, maybe even 39 years old, and he hasn't won a fight in 5 years. I don't even know how he's ranked. He's still ranked at number 10, but he is. I see Payton Talbott, who is, let me give you his stats, 27 years old. He's got a record of 10-1. He has a 1-fight win streak. Payton is aggressive. Payton and Henry are actually, they're not close buddies, but they have trained a little bit together. No one would take this fight. I saw an interview with Payton Talbott on Ariel Helwani, and Payton said that they asked every fighter between Henry Cejudo and Payton, and no fighter agreed to fight him. That's a statement, except for Henry Cejudo. Payton is aggressive. He will walk you down. He's got that locked out punching style. He's a great counter puncher. Here's the thing. Henry Cejudo is a world-class wrestler, and we know that this is where Payton is not the best. He's had to work on his wrestling. He has been much improved, though. In his last fight, he just came back strong and had some good wrestling. But again, this is Henry Cejudo's wheelhouse. I'm going to give this to Payton. There's an 11-year difference between Cejudo and Talbott. There's also going to be a 6-inch size advantage that Payton has. Henry Cejudo is the shortest fighter in the UFC. He's 5'4". Payton is 5'10". So I'm just thinking that this is going to be the changing of the hands, new generation. I'm giving the win to Payton Talbott. My first runner-up is a lightweight fight between Nazim Sadykhov and Ziam. This fight is UFC 323 that takes place on December 6th. Nazim is 31 years old. He's a southpaw. He's got a record of 11-1-1, and he's on an 11-fight win streak. If you like entertaining fights that are barn burners, then you will like watching Nazim Sadykhov. All of his fights come with velocity and volume. He can take damage and he will give damage. He's got powerful striking. He can scramble. He has great takedown defense. 3 of his fights have won Fight of the Night. This guy is entertaining and tough and super talented. He's fighting Ziam. 28 years old, his record is 17-4. He's on a 5-fight win streak. He's been in the UFC since 2019. It's said that he's a good kickboxer and good at jiu-jitsu. I think the best thing about Ferez is his height. He knows how to use his length. He's got okay wrestling. He just kind of gets the job done. When it comes to Nazim versus Ferez, it's Nazim all the way. He's fought much tougher opponents, and he's just going to out-volume, out-power Ferez. He's also going to dictate the pace of this fight because he is very forward pressure, and he's aggressive. He's violent, and I see this being overwhelming for Ferez, and this is going to be a second round TKO or knockout. And number 1 are 2 really great prospects. This is a fight between lightweights, Malcolm Wellmaker and Cody Haddon. This fight is just coming up around the corner, UFC 322. November 15th. Wellmaker is an undefeated 31-year-old. He's got a 10-0 record and is on a 10-fight win streak. He made his entry into the UFC after his Contender Series win. So far, he's won both of his fights, either in the first or second round by knockout. This fighter is lightning quick and has thunder in his hands. Because I've only seen him fight twice, I wanted to understand, does he have a chin? Does he have cardio? What's his wrestling look like? So I had to go outside to other promotions to watch him, and turns out he checks all the boxes. This fighter can go 5 rounds. I saw him in a 5-round title fight against a sticky wrestler, and Wellmaker even had 2 takedowns of his own. He knows how to defend the takedown, whether it's using his hips up against the cage or with the whizzer, and he was tired, but he wasn't gassed. Malcolm knows how to use distance to his advantage. He'll come in with some deadly kicks, teeps, inside calf kicks. This kid's just great all the way around. Cody Haddon is a 27-year-old. He is on a 6-fight win streak with an 8-1 record. He won his UFC debut fight. Really, this fight is about 2 shining prospects. He's a very good fighter. He's got some crafty moves, very good defense. I've seen him up against the fence with a collar tie to reverse his position and put himself back into play. He's really good with the calf kicks. He'll take his calf and bend it inward, so he'll roll with the calf kick to prevent damage. It's kind of a bummer that he's going up against Wellmaker. I've got Wellmaker all over this one. I actually think it's going to end in a second round knockout. Alrighty, what do you think? Did I make you as excited about these fight cards as I am? I know you guys love these fight cards too. This is like Christmas begins in November for us. I want to know what fights I might have missed. What are you looking forward to? Put it in the comments below. Let me know what you think, and come back and comment after the fights and let me know if I lost a bet or if you agreed with me about a fighter. I want to hear about it right here. Okay, see you soon.